Around 29 flags have been cut down or removed or stolen in Queenstown the day before Winter Pride. The flags were installed around the Queenstown Bay and Village Green area as part of the festival celebrations that runs for 11 days in the resort town. I think it does start today. Winter Pride co-organiser Sam Coulthard says the act of vandalism was not just an attack on property, but sent a troubling message to the community and raises concerns about small-town homophobia. He says it's disheartening to see acts like this that attempt to undermine efforts to create safe and inclusive spaces, adding, this makes a real statement that there are some that just don't want these flags in town. Last year's Winter Pride Festival was also marred by organised vandalism, hate graffiti and threats to council staff, as well as a protest on the final party of the last year's Winter Pride. Joining me now is ACT MP Todd Stephenson, who only actually moved back to Queenstown after many years in Sydney. Hello, Todd. Good to have you back on the show.
Hi, Leah. Thanks for having me on.
Now, Todd, firstly, as a gay man, do you find this concerning and agree there is small-town homophobia in New Zealand?
Look, I think it is really disappointing. As you said, Winter Pride down here in Queenstown kicks off today and it runs for a couple of weeks. And I just think this is really disappointing. We like to think we're actually quite friendly down here in the south, very warm and welcoming. And yes, I hope this isn't actually a trend that we see continuing.
Have you been in touch with the organisers of Winter Pride?
No, I haven't yet. I've just been kind of catching up on this news over the day. I certainly am going to reach out and offer my support. This is property damage. It's actually, it's a privately run event. They raise, sponsorship and money. I think, the flags to replace are going to cost in the vicinity of $12,000. So I'm sure it's not money they have. And, they put this event together every year. And in fact, we've had events like this for over 20 years down here in Queenstown. So, yeah, look,
financially it is great for the area. I think last year, 4,000 people flew in and roundabout, and they had 50 organised events. People spend money, of course. They go skiing, but of course they wine and dine. 45% is Australians. The other kind of 45 is Kiwis and the rest from other places. People do come from overseas. But do you think maybe, Todd, all the talk that's been prevalent with gender identity and trans issues, this might prompt some people to feel that they've kind of had enough and don't want a festival for the rainbow community?
Yeah, well, look, I hope that's not the case. Look, I think there have been a lot of quite topical discussions around gender. But look, as I said, this event's been going for a long time. It's actually ticketed, so people have to buy tickets to the different events. A lot of them have already sold out. As you said, it actually gets a lot of people travelling internationally, particularly from Australia. You're not required to attend any of the Winter Pride events. It's completely optional. You actually have to seek them out and go to them. So, look, I just think, an act of vandalism, I would call it like this, is very, very disappointing. There are other events down here which put up flags, to advertise them as well. We've got the Queenstown Marathon, the Gibson Wine and Food Festival, and they're just on during that, during the period that the events are on, and just a way to raise visibility.